Here's an engaging and up-to-date overview of Papua New Guinea's key current affairs as of mid-August 2025. 1. Rediscovery sparks ecotourism boost. An iconic World War II aircraft known as the Flying Dutchman has been rediscovered in PNG's Owen Stanley Range on August 14, 2025. The plane's remains, including its tail with visible serial number, were found amid dense cloud forest. This discovery is poised to ignite interest in sustainable trekking and potentially foster better access to remote highland communities. 2. Fisheries strengthened. Japan-PNG MOUs. Papua New Guinea's National Fisheries Authority has signed 2 new memorandums of understanding with Japan to strengthen long-standing fisheries cooperation. The agreements aim to support sustainable fisheries practices and reinforce bilateral collaboration in marine resources. 3. New Zealand military exercise in PNG. For the first time in over 30 years, the New Zealand Army has conducted a high-explosive training exercise in Papua New Guinea, marking a milestone in defense cooperation. This underscores growing regional security collaboration between the two nations. 4. Landmark defense pact with Australia. Australia and Papua New Guinea are on the brink of formalizing a defense treaty that includes a historical provision, allowing PNG citizens to join the Australian Defence Force. PNG recruits must meet entry standards and obtain Australian citizenship within 90 days, while retaining dual citizenship. Up to 10,000 recruits are expected to join from cities like Port Moresby, Lae, and Manus Island. The pact enhances defense ties and strategically counters rival regional influences. 5. PNG's NRL franchise name contest. In another historic development, Papua New Guinea is launching its first National Rugby League, NRL, franchise set to begin competition in 2028. A global contest is underway to name the team, with early favorites including the Boers, Chiefs, Coastal Thunderhawks, Hunters, echoing the existing PNG Hunters, as well as creative options like Flames, Butterflies, Bees, Hornbills, and Murex. The naming process will shortlist 5 names by August end, followed by a public vote. The franchise is supported through a $600 million Australian government investment in Pacific rugby development. 6. Cultural Spotlight at Darwin Festival. A cultural ensemble named Meganesia, featuring First Nations artists from Papua New Guinea and Australia, made its debut this weekend at Darwin Festival. Fusing ancient songlines with street styles, the group, performing as a sonic declaration of kinship, celebrates shared cultural heritage. Papua New Guinean artist Mirani Malani premiered Melanesian Queen, and the event featured multiple artists from Melanesian and Australian indigenous communities. 7. Political and economic momentum. ASEAN membership bid. At the July 11th ASEAN Regional Forum, PNG's foreign minister reaffirmed PNG's ambition to transition from ASEAN observer to full member, citing the nation's strategic geography and economic potential. A policy submission for full membership is under preparation. LNG project engagements. On July 9th in Houston, Prime Minister Marape met with ExxonMobil's leadership to advance LNG projects, including Papua LNG, Nyang LNG, and Wildebeest, reinforcing PNG's resource sector development. Economic stabilization. PNG's external debt is projected at $70.8 billion, 52.6% of GDP, with the government aiming for a budget surplus by 2027. Inflation is an estimated 3.9% for 2025. Expenditures for police, defense, and judiciary have increased by 9%, but lingering unrest from earlier riots still affects businesses. 50th Independence Honors. PNG is awarding the 50th Independence Anniversary King's Medal to 3,000 citizens recognizing 25-plus years of service across sectors like environment, health, education, and community services. Ceremonies began in June across 4 regions. Women's Cricket Tournament. The inaugural Women's Pacific U.S. Sports Cricket Invitational was held in PNG from June 15th to 21st as part of the 50th Independence celebrations. PNG won the T20I tournament, beating Australia Indigenous on net run rate. Anti-corruption reform underway. Prime Minister Marape addressed operational challenges within PNG's Independent Commission Against Corruption, ICAC. promising urgent government intervention amid reports of internal conflict and calls for resignations. Papua New Guinea in August 2025 finds itself at a crossroads of heritage, geopolitics, and development. The rediscovery of a World War II relic highlights tourism potential. Fisheries and defense partnerships with Japan, New Zealand, and Australia strengthen PNG's regional standing. Sports and culture, through NRL expansion and indigenous performance art, are nourishing national identity. Strategically, energy engagements, debt management, and anti-corruption reforms indicate a government pushing for stability and growth ahead of its golden independence anniversary. Would you like a deep dive into any of these topics?